benefit from the information that we share. Atkins, thank you very much for the roses. I see you there. It's good to have you. You are my first gifter in this second quarter of the year 2025. Ladies and gentlemen, you can see that before you know it, time has flown past. So as far as 2025 is concerned, 3 months already gone. And this is what we're talking about. If you don't do something about your finances, time will pass you by, and eventually opportunities as well. Thank you very much, Valentina. I see the gifts there. For anyone who is just joining us, I am a wealth creation enthusiast with a passion for helping people and organizations build their personal and corporate net worth via investing in the capital and money markets. So you are in the right place if your desire is to look for legitimate means of growing your income, okay? I've come to realize that Nigerians are one of the most hardworking people across the world. I have worked with expatriates in my days in Shell, and I can tell you there are only 2 or 3 nationalities that do these jobs better or more than Nigerians. Not like better, but more. I saw Filipinos, I saw Indians, and maybe, just maybe, what other nationality now? Maybe Pakistanis. That's very debatable. So if you ask me outrightly, there are only 2 nationalities that are very hardworking like Nigerians, and they are Indians and should I say Filipinos. That's because in the oil industry, you need a lot of expatriates, and we had a whole lot of them. Now, it didn't mean that they were the only ones, because we also had, I personally had a direct boss from Liverpool in UK. His name is Richard Clifford, okay? So you had British, American, even white South African expatriates in our team, right? But I can tell you, Nigerians are amongst the hardest working expatriates across the world. So the same way you have Indians, Filipinos scattered across the world in various major projects in the oil and gas industry and in construction, that's how you also have Nigerians all over the place. So the problem is not about making money, because Nigerians are very hardworking, and most of them who are in these fields earn very good money. The only problem is what you do with what you earn. That's where the challenge is. So it comes to a point where no matter how much you earn, what you do with what you earn is eventually what matters and stands you out in the school of wealth creation, okay? So knowing what to do with what you earn is very important, because it will eventually determine your final outcome in your later years on the earth. Whether you live a comfortable life or not depends on what you do with what you earn. So you may be there earning $10,000 per week, $10,000 per month, $100,000 per year, whatever it is. If you don't work hard in making your money work for you, then the one who earns far less, that knows what to do with his money, will eventually come out on top in the long run, right? So you don't want to labor when you have physical strength to work and do business, only to end up when you can no longer run around work or business with zero finances to take care of your later years. Because I can assure you, everyone listening to me right now, whether you are in your 40s, 50s, or 60s, as we speak, you have between 40 to 50 more years to live on the earth. The question is, when you hit 60, what happens to the remaining 30, 40, or 50 years of your life? Because that's a whole long time. And if you have not set up a system to grow money for you, then you are in a big problem. Because your children, who you think will take care of you, have a completely different mentality these days, as they will be struggling to look after themselves. This is how I intend for us to begin this second quarter, first ever live stream session. Have a rethink, make sure that you will not be found wanting. In any case, if economic challenges become so great beyond what you have ever experienced, The only way you can survive such a moment in your lifetime is if you have kept sufficient reserve in terms of investments that will keep bringing money your way. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining and for listening and for being a part of this live session all along. I hope you are growing well. I saw Aradel dropping below 500 before I came on live. Now, for me, another opportunity to keep mopping. One thing with the stock market is a stock will just be looking at you, dropping and looking so dejected, rejected, and then eventually, when it picks up, you begin to wonder what happened. For your information, Aradel just made another small acquisition. So they are building up their assets along the line. And any discerning mind should continue to take position. For me, I have mopped up Aradel to the extent where once it goes above 500 to say 600, I will not be able to buy again because I have made enough purchases while it was below 600. So right now, I saw Aradel at 489 or 490 or something like that after trading for 514 today, and then came down to 500 and thereabouts. But we'll take a look at all of that and know where you can take position. Now, I have a question from Umaru Adamu. He says, hello coach, please, what can I do with my NACO at the moment? NACO is flying after announcing their final dividend of 5 naira 70 something or 90 something kobo, which is very impressive. The market is looking at that. It drove the price up to 69 naira. In fact, it touched 70. Let's take a look at what's happening with NACO for now. That's it. NACO is at 67 after trading for as high as 70 today, or 66, 69. Right? So the point is, how much did you buy it and for how long did you intend to keep it? That will inform the next decision or the next step to take. Doing well says, which one would you advise between money market, mutual fund, and treasury bills? For safety reasons, I would say go for treasury bills because it is safer than money market. And then, of course, that's talking about mutual funds. And then mutual funds also is not consistent with the returns. It fluctuates, goes up, goes down, but treasury bills is certain and fixed. It's just that it's a short-term instrument, so maximum 365 days. And lastly, you want to compare the returns in terms of the interest therein. If you have much more interest in treasury bills, then I advise you go for treasury bills. But if you're looking for safety more than anything else, then I will also say go for treasury bills. Otherwise, if mutual fund is of a higher return and the return, the difference is significant, and then you just want to be sure of which institution is offering it. Afterwards, you can proceed with mutual funds. Okay, that question was coming from Doing Well, right? I mentioned your name. Okay, we go on with your questions, and if there are callers, please feel free to call in. Okay, EK is asking, good morning, sir. Please, do you teach on how to get out of debts and loan apps? Well, basically, that's the number one lesson that I share. You can't build wealth when you are in debt because, honestly, the whole essence of wealth creation is for peace of mind. One of the major essence of wealth creation is for peace of mind. And no indebted person is at peace in their mind because their mind is always running through how to go on to pay their debts and not go bankrupt. So I strongly advise against going into debt, except it is debt for business that can service the debt and make the business more profitable. That's completely different from going into debt because you want to service your personal need, right? So to avoid getting into debt, the first thing to do is to cut costs and live below your means. There is a saying that you should live above your means, and live within your means rather. And in those days, it used to be a good advice, but for me, that's an old syllabus. Because living within your means don't spend more than you earn. So if you earn 100,000 a month, don't spend more than 100,000. So you could as well spend as much as 100,000 or 99,000. Now that leaves you with nothing. So stop going about with that mindset of living within your means. Rather, live below your means. That way you are able to now save money. The first step to wealth creation is savings. And nobody is able to save if they are in debt. You understand the reason now why you should completely stay out of debt if you want to begin your journey to growing wealth. That way you can proceed to now have sufficient money set aside from time to time from your earnings or from your business income, and then you proceed to invest. You create another stream of income when you invest. You create a chance to grow the money you are investing into something bigger so that you can also take on bigger things to do. For instance, some of the businesses that I own now were funded straight from my investments in the stock market. You too can do the same, but the most important thing is to first build this wealth, then you have sufficient liberty to do as many things as you want to do, and of course, buy time for yourself. So in the process, you have peace of mind. In fact, anybody who has been in debt can tell you for free that the moment the debt was paid up or cancelled, there was a certain internal peace they got that eluded them for as long as they remained in debt. So imagine getting out of debt and then getting out of any form of financial stress. What peace you will enjoy on a daily basis. Even when the economy is in crisis, you have sufficient cushion to continue to take care of your needs. That's the point we try to make in this place. So everybody is working hard to put their money to work so that later on they will not have to work too hard, right? Okay, MMG says, you are right, Filipinos and Indians. Of course, that's the point. So it's not just about making money, but it's about what you do with the money you earn, because in the end, the money you save is what will save you tomorrow. The money you save today is what will save you tomorrow. And we're not here to say just save, because savings alone will not create wealth for you. No man on the rich list, you know, there's the latest Forbes richest list in the world already has been published. None of them on that list ever became wealthy by savings alone. So from the scratch, they saved, they denied themselves immediate gratification, delayed that gratification and pleasure so that they put the money to work, and now they can get all the pleasure they want in their life. That's what I want for you. That's why I'm here sacrificing these 2 hours on a daily basis, and I hope that it makes you a better person regarding your finances. Nothing can be as sweet as financial freedom, right? Success Mindset says, what do you think of MTN, sir? MTN, if you have sufficient time to wait, this is the time to start buying MTN. Hopefully, at the end of the first half of this year, MTN should announce an interim dividend, because for the first time since their existence, they never paid dividend for the year 2024 financial period. Senior promises, hello coach, please, I'm here to get a response of what next concerning my shares with GTCO, which I have not gotten the last dividend they paid. Dividend payment date is not here yet. They only announced it. And if you bought the GT Bank last year, then open a stock brokerage account for yourself and ask your broker to credit your brokerage platform so you can see it and proceed to monitor the progress while expecting your dividend payment. Okay? So please talk about small feet. Akombi Yemisi Adebowale. I do not have sufficient information regarding small feet, so I don't have much to say, and I cannot also criticize a firm that I have not researched. All right, Chooks Mark says, thanks for the advice. My pleasure. Ekomi8, he says, we really appreciate your sacrifice, coach. I don't know how much to thank you personally. Thank you very much. Your words of positive feedbacks alone empowers me a lot to do more. Ike says, thanks so much, sir. Debt is a joy stealer, especially for women and a mother. May God have mercy. Definitely, women actually get trapped, just as men do, but in diverse ways. Okay, some a result of peer pressure. Their mates are married to richer men, if we're talking about the married women, and when they get together in their maybe old school gatherings, oh, thank you, Rebuild and Rise, appreciate you for those roses you are sharing. So women come under this pressure of trying to meet up to the standard of their supposedly more comfortable peers. And it happens a lot of the times when they gather somewhere. Maybe they meet at their old school gatherings. Everybody wants to show off how well they are doing. Or they meet where they pick up their children from school, or PTA meetings, sometimes even family meetings. And some appear to be doing well. So others come under that pressure of having to do or appear as good as their peers. That is where women get into debt, and so it makes them go on to buy expensive gifts, expensive personal effects, from buying the latest iPhones to buying the latest strands of hair extensions, designer bags and all of those things, just to appear flashy. The problem with that is you are living a false life, and of course that means that you are trying to impress people who do not even care about you, in the process denying your future by eating it up today. So men also come under the same pressure in various instances. The car they drive, they want to live up to a particular standard. Of course, some people come under pressure even on social media these days. Some people live their lives for the gram, as they say these days. And so everything they do, they try to make it look flashy and feel like they are very comfortable. So you go to expensive places, take photos, and you are watching thinking they are living the life, whereas they are only pretending the life that they can't afford. So you want to avoid all of these temptations and keep your feet on the ground, focus on growing money, and then when the time comes, you can leave it as real as possible, right? Okay. Coach, please, Assure and Unicel for long-term investment, please talk about it. No idea about these stocks you are picking. Sunu Assurance, rather. Sunu, it has not done fantastically well. Apart from heavy price movements we experienced last year and towards the end of the year, the financial reports are not backing up their performance. So I will advise serious caution. Unicel, not enough information from my end yet, so I can't say much. Gabi Love is asking, can I buy Aradel now? Every time I see Aradel, as long as it's below 600, it's a very good time to accumulate. Please, Coach, kindly share your views about Cadbury. Cadbury didn't do very well as well. In fact, they have taken a decision that can be painful, but in the circumstances, the right decision. I told you how their finances was not fantastic, and so after announcing their results, they have elected not to pay dividend this year. That may punish the price, so you may want to take action based on your entry price. But in the longest term, that could be the best decision for Cadbury. Please, Coach. Okay. Delayed gratification is a game changer if you are disciplined enough. PGR, thank you very much for that recap. Appreciate that you understand and we are on the same wavelength. I know how much delayed gratification I had to make to be where I am today. If you notice all of my social media handles, you will not see me standing by any car. You will hardly see me take a photograph of my house, but that's the house I live in and it's owned by me. So delayed gratification ensured that now, while some of my peers are still under the pressure of house rent issues, I have been out of it for years now. Going to next year will make it 10 years since I stopped paying house rent for myself. That's what you can do for yourself and just have the freedom of your life, right? So, but if you want to continue to spend all you have and not develop that financial discipline, then it becomes difficult. So you want to quickly buckle up. The year is already running fast. First quarter gone. We have only three quarter of the year left, right? So do what you have to do. Accumulate assets that will look after you tomorrow. Tyson J says, Coach, should I go on with accumulating more RRL? Yes, please, go on. Keep accumulating. What about Fidelity? I want to buy. I would advise that if you are not too crazy about the dividend that they have declared, then wait and buy after dividend declaration so that you buy cheaper. Ola01 says, what says you on PiggyVest? I'm new to all this investment. The stocks I bought is in beer. Well, Ola, I have no idea what PiggyVest is. Most recently, the Securities and Exchange Commission has been warning that some people are actually, some handles are actually not authorized. I don't know if PiggyVest is amongst them. Somebody who is knowledgeable enough, please tell us about PiggyVest. I used to think it was a savings app that pays a lot on interest, but I have no much idea what they are all about. Jewels by Amma says, well done, sir. I've sent requests to open a brokerage account, but no response from them yet. Not a problem. If you did that over the weekend, then of course it is now that they should be trying to respond. Please, I'd like you to understand that you bought a stock and the price came down does not matter. What matters is recall why you bought the stock. If the assessment you made, the research you made, the recommendation that was made as at when you decided to buy it is still intact, please go ahead and accumulate that stock. We are at that time of the season when bargains will be dropping left, right, and center, and you don't know when each one will jump. Okay? So that's where we are. How do I start my investment journey in Nigeria? Okay, I would want to call on Maobi. Ladies and gentlemen, in the Network Investors Club, the structure has been set up. We have a completely solid ESCO now running the club, and maybe before this week runs out, I will speak about the members and their portfolio, their assignment. So we have Maobi as the communication and media team lead or coordinator, and that's why you will see him always around attending to your questions. Coach, please name 2 bank stocks to buy and hold long term. Ojux is asking 2 bank stocks to buy and hold long term. Now let me talk about these banks. We've seen what has happened with the manner in which dividends were declared between GT Bank, Zenith, and UBA. The market is not impressed with how Zenith has held on to most of the profit after tax that they made and declared just 4 naira, making a total 5 naira dividend for 2024. Then GT Bank came and announced 7 naira 3 kobo plus the 1 naira they declared interim, making it 8 naira 3 kobo. And that has caused a huge gap between GT Bank and Zenith that was not too wide. Zenith currently trading at around 47, GT trading at 69.68. So what has happened is Zenith has been outsmarted in the dividend game for now. Mark my words, for now. Zenith always prided itself with paying more than GT, and GT always goes on to still be more expensive. though they pay slightly lower than Zenith. So Zenith went ahead to announce first, and they announced 4 naira. GT took advantage and has announced far higher than it has ever happened. So it's too late for Zenith now to say we want to re-announce. But you know what? Zenith is going to re-strategize and hopefully come back and pay something much more reasonable to close the gap. So what has happened is, at the moment, between Zenith and GT Bank, if you ask me, I'll go for Zenith. Even if it appears that the dividend yield for GT is better, I will still go for Zenith, because going for Zenith gives me an advantage to get more capital gains when they finally match GT Bank or pay anything close to GT. So amongst the biggest banks, I will go for Zenith, UBA, and First Bank. First Bank, not because of their previous financial performance, but because of the future going forward. We have Femi Otodola firmly on the driver's seat right now of First Bank, and so that bank is going to go places in the coming future. So anything under 27, 28 that it is, you start accumulating. When they finish a private placement, I'm sure Femi Otodola will take a whole lot from that private placement. Then you will see First Bank in action, because most recently they've also made attempts to close the gap in terms of leakages and wastages in the resources of the bank. Somebody who is not following me now, you are losing money. I'll tell you for free. Do well to follow me on all social media platforms, on Instagram, and of course here, so that you also begin to find a way to make your money grow for you from anywhere you are in the world. Nigerians in diaspora and everybody else, this is very important for you, because it is for your own financial well-being. And as we continue to put our monies to work, everybody is happy. We are all doing well at our own pace. Chukwudalu Davis says, please coach, what stock can I diversify with 200k naira now? 200,000 naira. If you can find UPDC under 2 naira 90 kobo, under 290, that's good. If you can find TIP under 4 naira, that's good. I think those are the two I can mention at the moment. Believe says, can you? Okay, I have talked about commercial paper a lot and shown how to calculate it. Oh, Walktor says, if you are not here, you are investing with your eyes closed. That's serious. Okay, somebody's asking a question about, hello Maobi, please can you come up? I have somebody you should attend to. I'm trying to get the question. Somebody asked about how to go about this. Okay, we have heard from Okomi 8. He says, stay away from piggyvest real estate investment. Hello, Maobi. Wow, I have a lot of questions I have skipped here. Okay, Ola01 says, I want to buy stocks. Ola, please come on board and let's have Maobi speak with you. Ola01 says, I want to start investing in Nigerian stocks, but I don't know where to start. I would prefer Ola to come on live if you are not at work and you can talk, so that Maobi can speak with you. Let's hold on for Ola to come on. Okay. Hello.
Yeah, hi, coach. Good
Very good
afternoon.
afternoon to you. It's nice to have you.
This
Please
is
tell
my
us your
first time
name and
coming on
where.
live.
Yes. This is your first time.
Very first time.
Fantastic. Glad to have you here.
Thank you.
All right. Tell us your name and where you're streaming from.
Okay, my name is Ola. I'm streaming from UK.
Great. We're glad to have you, Ola, from UK. And we have Maobi, our communications and media lead. Hello, Maobi. Are you there?
Yeah, hello, coach. Good afternoon. I'm right
Good
here. I
afternoon.
hope you can hear me because
Ola
network is
is
a bit
here.
short.
Thank you.
Sorry, we are hardly hearing
Yeah,
you.
hello,
So
Ola.
you
How are
speak
you?
louder.
Is that me or Mayomi?
Yeah, hello,
Maobi.
coach. Can you hear me now?
Okay, it's a bit better now.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, Maobi,
Can I
please.
can I start?
Okay.
Yes, go ahead, Ola. Maobi is here to take your
Yes, of course,
questions.
you can. Go ahead.
House, just give me
Okay,
a
like I
minute.
said.
Let me quickly
Okay,
get something done. I'll be back while Maobi is anchoring. Go
okay.
ahead, Ola.
Hi, Mayomi. Can you
Yeah,
hear me?
hello, Ola. How are you? Yeah, I
Yeah,
can
I'm
hear
very
you
good.
loud and
Thank you
clear.
very much. Okay, so I've always had I've been keeping my money in savings for quite a number of years. I keep some in savings in UK, some in Nigeria because
Okay.
I have a business that I run in Nigeria. So apparently that money I just keep it in high savings investment. And of recent, I used some of it for these
Okay.
treasury bonds that they just that the banks just opened. I don't really know the terms for all these things because I have a partner that I always tell to help me with my investment. But I feel he's not doing
Okay.
enough. After coming here and seeing people talking about stocks, I never used to believe in stocks. So I just keep my money in I savings investment and, like I said, treasury bills once in a while. I also have some money here that I'm saving in the bank. And I think last year I invested in this ISA, right? The money ISA for a year. And what I got for the whole year, because I usually maximize whatever it is that we have for the year. That's I don't want to mention the amount, but you know. So I maximize my amount and what I got for the
Yeah,
previous
I
year, I just
understand.
felt it was too small. As a business person that I am, that I always make money back home. So that was 2 years ago. Then this last previous year, which our tax year ended by April, that was yesterday. I for the year again, I did the maximum amount, but this time around I invested in the stocks ISA. But the money was in beer. Like I didn't even make anything this time around. The money just went down. I don't even mind because I'm just learning. But after coming online, I realized that people are doing stocks in Nigeria. So I'm just thinking, what can I do in Nigeria with the money that I have instead of just doing treasury bills and the IDA? What else can I do? I don't even know where to start from. I don't have any idea. I don't know what app to use. I don't know what to do, but I really want to invest.
Okay. Well, I want to start by telling you that you're in the right place and
Sorry, please,
you
can
are
you be a little
taking
bit clearer,
a
please?
very good decision. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, so I was saying that you are in a very good place, being that you are in a place where you can be sure to get good and proper information. Okay, so
Okay.
what are we doing here? Like we said, we are into the business of trading stocks, Nigerian stocks, and also foreign stocks from the US market, from the European market. We explore all those things. Okay,
Okay.
how can you start? First thing you need to do is to get all the information that you need. You can never go wrong with proper information. You know that. The more you get information, the more you get yourself acquainted with the processes, the more you get used to the market, the
Yeah.
more you know the telltale signs to look out for when you are buying, when you are holding, or when you're selling. So
Okay.
information is the key. I would advise you to start with that. And how can you gather these informations I'm talking about? like what you are doing right now. We are having this live session every weekday. Okay?
Okay.
You
Yeah.
can also go online on Coach's YouTube, explore some beginner videos you can find on the YouTube. There
Oh,
you
really?
can get good information
Okay.
about how the market works and how you can navigate it. After
Okay.
you do it, then of course you need to give yourself the platform to buy and sell. And this platform is your stock brokerage account. Okay?
All
For
right.
this, we recommend Atlas.
Yes, please. Can someone type that in the comments so that I can get the spellings, please? At last. Can you hear me?
Okay, so sorry about that. We lost Maobi. I'm sure when he gets back on, we will get him. Ola, the best thing to
Yes,
do
please.
is just follow me on Instagram, send me a DM. That's a
Okay.
faster way to get your account opened. I'll just send you the link to open your Atlas
Oh,
Portfolios account. And this
okay.
is to also assure you that it's all going to be in your name. You are the one
Okay.
opening the account. So in the end, it's the stock brokerage firm interfacing with you, not any one of us who spoke to you. The idea
Okay.
is so that once your account is open, the stockbroker doesn't know no one except you, and they are going to be communicating with you in three major channels. First, the email address with which you open the account. Second, the phone number with which you used, and then there is a third means of communication I can't recall immediately, but the whole idea is without those means of original communication you started with them,
Okay.
nobody can transact on your behalf.
Cool.
This is to also inform you that no one outside the stock brokerage firm is going to ask you to give them money.
Okay.
I will not go about asking you to bring money and let me invest for you. No, that's not what we do here.
Okay.
It's a do it yourself club that we established. That's the
Thank you
Network
very much.
Investors Club, and that is deliberate. So there's no, we put money here, somebody running away with money, all of those things. You are not going to encounter that. It's all about taking the tips, the recommendations, the analysis we make here, deciding to buy using your money in your account. All dividend payments go straight to your bank account that you must have supplied, and everything is just straightforward. No games.
Okay.
Is
Thank you.
that okay? I don't know if you have any more questions.
Not really. No, I don't have any more.
Okay.
Thank you for
How
this
often do
opportunity.
you intend to invest?
Like I said, I'm new. I just have some money somewhere that I'm not using for anything.
Okay.
So
Maybe I should give you a little bit more explanation about what investing in the stock market is all about, right?
please do.
When you buy shares of a company, you are paying for a part ownership of that company.
Okay.
I would like to use something you may be used to, pizza. When last did you take pizza?
Like maybe 2 days ago or something.
She laughs, exactly. You know, pizza comes with a base material, which is the flour.
Yeah.
Then you have things like
The
other kinds of
cheese and all
cheese,
the things that you put on top of it.
bell peppers,
Yeah.
sausages, all of those things spread all over the
Okay.
place. Now, assume you order for a box of pizza with three of your friends, that's the four of you, and you contributed money to buy that pizza. Let's say you are in the UK, let's assume you spent £4. And that means when the pizza arrives, you split it into four, right? And one part goes to you because out of the £4 spent, you brought £1, the other three of your friends brought £1 each. So you have equally shared that pizza and you have your portion.
Okay.
That's what happens when you buy company stocks. A share of the company belongs to you. And you know that pizza has all of those condiments around it with the base. Your portion that you took also has every part of that pizza in it, right?
Yeah.
Now, because you will also see the sausages, some cheese, and every other thing on your portion, that's the way when companies declare dividends,
Okay.
they declare per share. So it means the number of shares you have acquired
That
so
I
far
bought.
times the dividend per share declared. That is
Okay.
paid into your bank account as your reward for owning the company. So investing in shares is much more real than investing in things like cryptocurrency, which is a digital asset that cannot be seen.
I don't
Second,
even do that.
those people who are working in the companies, whether it's bank or manufacturing companies, telecoms company, whatever, they are actually working and generating revenue from which profit is retained. It is from the profit after tax every financial year that they take out a portion to distribute to shareholders as owners of the business. You get the point now? So the
Yes, I
whole
do.
idea, what we do is because not every business in the world is profitable, we analyze, search for information, get the best out of those listed, and for each beneficial reason, we share the information. Then you, every member of the club, goes ahead to invest accordingly. So from time to time, opportunities emerge where you can put your money to work for you. You can see it, it's physical. You earn dividend the rest of your life until you decide that you don't want that stock, you sell it. The other benefit you get from investing in stocks is as the business continues to generate revenue and profit, the value increases. So a stock you bought 5 naira per share
Okay.
today might end up selling for 12 naira 2, 3 years from now. Meaning, if 5 million naira was spent buying that stock at 5 naira, you would have bought 1 million shares. When it gets to appreciate to 12 naira, 8 naira, 6 naira, whatever,
That's when
whatever
it's 100%.
gains is capital appreciation, which is capital gains for you.
Yeah.
So you make money through dividends and over time, and of course, capital gains. That's the way you grow wealth in the stock market. Is it a
All
bit
right.
clear now?
Yes. Thank you very much.
All right. So feel
I
free
will
to ask any
definitely,
questions.
I'll send you a DM, right? So that we can continue from there.
Yes, please. And
Okay.
then I'll also send you any other links to join Network Investors Club for free and whatever else you need help for. But our joy is that you have this mindset of putting your money to work and not just lavishing it. The easiest thing to do with that money is to spend it. But you have
Yeah.
held yourself, which means there is something about you that tells me you are a wealth builder. And
Thank you.
hopefully we will help you realize that.
Thank you very much, Mr. Omiete. Thank you very, very much. Nice talking
Thank
to
you,
you.
Ola. Enjoy the rest of your day.
And you too. Cheers.
Cheers and bye. Dotman, it looks like I'm missing some calls that I've missed a lot of your questions, so I'd like to go ahead to attempt to respond to some of them. Coach, do you used to have a video on commercial papers? No, I haven't done any video on commercial papers. Gift Samuel says, Coach, did you see what NMFM did on Friday from 79 to 87? Yes, I'm seeing everything that's going on there. Looks like your comments are jumping up and down and causing a bit of delays, but I'll try. Yeah, Malvi, I see that it was network, not a problem. We are able to carry on. Please join whenever you can. Driop AI says, please coach, what can I invest with 20 million? Okay, it depends on what you want to achieve. Is it for long term? Is it for short term? These are not the times to actually invest short term because the market is very unpredictable now and you want to be careful. Otherwise, I would advise a carefully thought out approach to investing. If you desire to invest all of it in stocks or you want to put some in the money market and some in stocks, even those stocks will grow your money faster. And of course, in the end, it depends on what you want to do. Usually, I would prefer a system where you put the money in stocks and then take the earnings and the returns from stocks back into the money market, right? So if you ask me, and I want to assume now that you're looking at investing 20 million naira in the stock market and you are investing for the long term, these are stocks I will easily buy from time to time. I'll wait for UACN to drop as low as possible because they decided to pay 22 kobo per share, the same dividend they paid last year, even if they made 4 naira per share. You know what? Why? They are trying to avoid the problems they got into some years back when the company almost collapsed. The new management has been working the last 3 years and have revived the company, talking about UACN, and they are being very careful to now retain enough earnings. Any company with sufficient retained earnings means they are seriously looking towards a better future. And sometimes it's not about quick money. So they decided that out of over 4 naira earnings per share, they are retaining much more and paying just the 22 kobo they paid last year. The market is not happy with that dividend and the stock price has dropped maximum 10% today. We're looking at tomorrow, it may drop further and then you have a chance to start picking up a stock like UAC. Aradel is a must-have. Put Aradel in your portfolio. Hopefully, if you can find a stock like Presco under 700, so anything around 600 and something naira, buy Presco. By the way, we are waiting for what Presco is going to declare as their final dividend. And then we now look at some growth stocks. I don't know how long you want to keep the money. You would also want to take position in a stock like NASCON. Don't forget, they are the producers of Dangote Salt, a member company of the Dangote Group, even if they still bear the name National Salt Company of Nigeria. Then you also have 3 banks. Carefully buy immediately after dividend markdown. Zenith, UBA, First Bank. And then watch to see other bargains as they manifest. I can assure you that you will be on top of serious money in the next 2 to 3 years. I like to be very conservative, but you can be very sure that within a year, you will start seeing very serious returns on that money. Okay? How much to join the club? Nahima, free. Net Worth Investors Club is free. We have more than 1,900 members right now. We are on Discord app and made up of Nigerians in diaspora. A whole lot of them are in diaspora. Nigerians also in Nigeria and some foreigners as well, because we discuss foreign stocks also. In fact, one of our admins, one of the club executives is a European, right? So you join us for free, you watch from a distance, observe what we're doing. If you like it, feel free, ask questions. And of course, you are ready to be assisted by club members. We have an intruder here, perfect matchmaker. This is not where to ask for people looking to be matched. Please respect yourself. Okay. What is the process to join your club, coach? Very simple. Follow me on Instagram. Maybe I should share my Instagram handle. The same handle I use here at Wealth Coach Omiete, at Wealth Coach. At Wealth Coach Omiete, that's it. Just follow me on Instagram, send me a DM, and I will give you the link. The link expires from time to time because we care about the cybersecurity and safety of members. So Discord, our Discord platform is set up in a way that the link expires and new link is made available from time to time. So if you have seen anywhere I've shared the link before, it has already expired. You can't use it anymore. Just feel free to DM me. After the live session, I will send you a new link. Why am I referring to Instagram? Because I have fewer DMs to attend to there rather than here, so that your DMs don't get missing as has always been. Okay? So how to join the club? Follow me on Instagram, as I've pinned my Instagram handle there. Search for me, follow, send me a DM, and please send me the link to join the club, and I'll send you the link. Feel free. We also have what we call Knowledge Bank that we are developing. Most of the details that you need to understand about the stock market is now being documented in study format, so that being a member of the club, you can feel free to go out there and search for materials to read up. You want to learn more about ETFs, you go there, Knowledge Bank, open up where we have stored information about ETFs. You want to understand how to analyze stocks. We are working on things like that, so that we are not just a group of headers. You know, you hear, you pursue after a stock because you heard. We are a group of knowledgeable investors because by knowing enough about the stock market and the company you are investing in, you are eliminating any risk there is. A lot of people are worried about the market and are afraid because of past failures, and those past failures were a result of not knowing enough. No platform whatsoever. When I started 27 years ago, there was no platform where you could get information. There was no internet, no phones, and you can imagine such an environment. So people just hear and buy, and today some of the stocks they bought, they are bankrupt companies. Now we are equipping you to learn and know more. Even before you learn enough, the club is now there to guide you on what to buy, what to expect from what you are buying, and so on and so forth. All right, so that's the way it works. So fancy nails, you've seen, I've explained that. Please, when a stock is 2 naira, does it mean it's not going to be profitable? Are the ones from 250 naira better? Fancy nails, the stock price says a lot about a company, but does not say everything. First of all, any stock that is selling for 250 naira per share is perhaps a result of the fact that the stock is as valuable to the market as you have seen in the price. But not all stocks rise from 2 naira. Some drop and remain there for long. Some rise and keep rising. So all of this is a result of consistent performances. But not every stock was also 2 naira from the onset. I'll give you an instance. MTN was not listed for 2 naira. I think MTN was listed for 100 naira or 150 per share. So it never was 2 naira before. So there is a valuation process that takes place to determine the price of a stock before it gets listed. Whereas others can start from 1 naira. You have the likes of TIP, the initiates. It was 1 naira 90 kobo. Most of us bought it in November. Now it's over 4 naira. That's a whole lot, over 200% gain in 4 to 5 months. Even though we always preach that the stock market is not a get-rich-quick scheme, because we know how exponentially your money can grow in the stock market, we are also open to these quantum leaps in terms of gains made on our investments. But everyone is always advised and cautioned that, look, you have to come in here with a patient mindset. That is the best way to get the best results from the stock market, right? So everyone, don't be in too much of a hurry, relax, and know that you are doing something for a lifetime, and it becomes a lifestyle also. You are starting a new lifestyle of building wealth. It doesn't happen overnight. It's never a sprint. A lot of people come with a gambler's mentality of, I put this one now, I want to see it grow. No, nobody also has the exclusive knowledge of how high a stock can go and at what time it can rise. All we do is we are naturally honest to you. We investigate a stock, do enough research, dig up information about it, see the prospects there is, share with us, and then we decide that this one is good to buy now. Or this is a very good company, but we expect the stock price to dip, within which time it offers you a fantastic buying opportunity. And then should we buy a stock that we know is very good and the market decides to price it lower than we bought it, you don't panic sell and lose your investment or lose money. For your information, every loss is on paper unless you sell. So until you sell your lost position, you have not lost. It is only a paper loss. And because the stock market never moves in a straight line, it goes up and down, up and down, up and down. But in the long run, this is how it goes. So if you are patient enough, disciplined enough not to panic, psychologically solid right there, you will make a lot of money in the stock market. It is the experience I have gathered for 27 years that I am now sharing with you guys, and it is not that difficult. And this is not for experts. That's why we have a Network Investors Club. That's why we sacrifice 2 hours of our time on a weekday, Monday to Friday, to talk to you about it. So many more Nigerians will get a grip of this money-making venture, legitimate wealth building venture, so that your effort is not in vain, right? Okay. Alfredo says, please, coach, can I still buy Zenith, UBA, Buafu, GT Bank for dividend gains? Yes, you can. But I always advise time your entry very well for the overall good of your portfolio. Even if you've had these stocks already, it means that you will still benefit from whatever dividend they are all declaring. Zenith is going to pay 4 naira, UBA is going to pay 3 naira, Boa Foods, forgotten, is it 3 naira or so, or 5 naira? GT Bank is paying 7 naira 3 kobo. If you already have them, the best approach right now, hold on, let them pay the dividends and mark down the price. So after markdown, you go in again. That's the way I would prefer that you go in for these stocks, okay? Please, my mom has unclaimed dividend stock. Just checked. Please, what do I do next? Fill the form for her, put her bank details, and submit. She should be receiving the dividend in her account. Rebuild and Rise says, how about charms and cutics? In order not to sound like a broken record, I decided not to mention charms and cutics, but they are fantastic value stocks. Definitely will make you money in a couple of months and a couple of years from now. Coach, talk about Transcorp. Akombi MEC says, okay, Transcorp is now at a very good enterprise, 44. Never believed that it would drop below 46. but it's now 44. Now, do you know what? 44 naira per share is the equivalent of the pre-reconstruction price. Transcorp reconstructed their share price from 11 naira to 44 naira by multiplying it by 4, and therefore decreasing the number of existing shares from 40 billion shares to 10 billion shares. So that 44 it started with post-reconstruction is what it is now, meaning there has been no gain from that time. That means you are actually buying today's Transcorp at a bargain price, because there's no how Transcorp should be remaining at 11 naira per share, which is the equivalent before they reconstructed it and made it 44. So 44 naira for Transcorp, fantastic entry. Transcorp is a conglomerate. The owner is just being economical with the way he unbundles it so far, unlike the way he did for UBA, when shareholders of the parent UBA were given part of the unbundled entities, which is African Prudential, United Capital, and AfriLand Properties. In this case, before our very eyes, Transcorp Hotel was unbundled. Existing shareholders of the parent Transcorp company never benefited. Most recently, Transcorp Power has been unbundled. Existing shareholders of the parent Transcorp not considered. So this new approach is making Transcorp unattractive. But you know what? If you are following these billionaires, you have to have a whole residue of patience, because their schedule is different, their timing is different, their patience level is also different from ours, right? So you want to stay patient and see how far Transcorp goes. There is a whole lot still in Transcorp that can be unbundled. But most importantly, as the parent company of all these companies, as they are being unbundled, the parent company still has shares in all of them. Transcorp has stake in Transcorp Hotel. Transcorp has stake in Transcorp Power. Should Transcorp Energy be unbundled from Transcorp, you will also have stakes. So as long as the parent Transcorp has stakes in these unbundled entities, you are still going to benefit indirectly from them. So long and short, 44 naira, fantastic price for Transcorp. How you are able to wait like a billionaire is over to you. Remember, last year, everybody was angling for the merger of Dangote Sugar, Dangote Salt, and which is NASCON, and Dangote Rice. That never happened, and everybody thought it will continue later on last year. It never did. Billionaire Dangote just finished with his refinery project with all the struggles and fights, right? So he's patiently taking his time before taking the next step regarding the merger activity. So you've got to wait. The same thing with Bua Cement. Bua Cement was supposed to launch 2 cement factories last year, which would have made them the biggest cement manufacturers in Nigeria. Eventually, it didn't happen last year with all the forex losses that most manufacturers suffered. Okay? Health Dictive, thank you very much. I see your rose there, appreciate. So, you've got to have some level of patience like a billionaire. You know what they say about the cobra? It's patient, it waits for its game, and when it catches one big one, it has enough time to relax and enjoy it for a long time before it becomes hungry again. So, that's how billionaires, they choose their fight, they take their time, they win their battles. If you are waiting for Femi Otedola now in First Bank, have sufficient patience and wait like a billionaire, so you will reap the rewards of a billionaire. How many of you remember that Femi Otedola's brother, who is not an investor, not a businessman, he just has a music outfit, he's in the music industry and has a music outfit, recording outfit. What happened with his Geregu Power stocks? He sold his stocks, generated 4 billion naira from the sale. Why? Because he has a brother who he was privileged to know that had Geregu Power listed. Geregu Power was listed at 100 naira per share, is now 1,100 or so. So that's how you patiently build like the billionaire and then reap if you are able to wait. Okay? Feel free to call in. I always prioritize calls in case you do not know. Okay, Luke says, I bought NACO last year, 100,000 units at 32 naira per share, but it's now selling at 70 naira per share. Hello, Luke, can you come up and let's discuss? Because these are the things that I'm just talking about now. There was a time when NACO was so sluggish, looked like nothing was happening, and many people were tempted to sell and they sold. When NACO got to 35 and wasn't moving anymore. Now you bought at 32 just last year, you see, 100,000 shares, and now that's double what you invested. More than double, because at 32 naira, double will be at 64. Currently, NACO is at 70. By the way, they declared 5 naira something per share. So on your 100,000 NACO, that's over 500,000 naira dividend coming to you. You see that? Awesome. That's what we're talking about. So as long as you hold it, and NACO has never paid that much as dividend. They've always paid, is it 1 naira 50 kobo or 2 naira per share or something like that, or even 2 naira 50 kobo. They've not paid more than 2 naira or so. And suddenly 5 naira something. So on your 100,000 shares times 5 naira plus, that's 500 and something thousand naira as dividend. You've not sold the stock, it's still there. So as long as you, if you like, hold it for the rest of your life, as long as your eyes are in the market, you keep following trends and the company is still doing well. As long as you hold the company stocks, you keep earning. So imagine when NACO starts paying 10 naira per share. That means every time they declare dividend, you are collecting 1 million naira, right? Keep your calls coming in. Okay, Oseni Hendricks says, I just became one of your disciples. How do I begin my investment journey, please? Oseni Hendricks, I see your comment there. Feel free, send me a DM. I will forward you how to links on how to start. Open your stock brokerage account. Go on my YouTube channel. Look through and watch some of the beginner guide videos while your account is being opened. You also join our Network Investors Club. See what is happening. While I'm here talking to you, we are also analyzing the market, because every day the Nigerian market opens, especially for those who don't know, the Nigerian stock market is open on a daily basis, Monday to Friday, from 10 a.m. to 2:20 p.m. Nigerian time, where stocks are being traded from time to time, holders of stocks selling to those who need them, and as they keep exchanging hands, money is being made, because for those companies that are doing well, the stock price will be increasing. And if you buy a stock and hold, the longer you hold, as long as it's a good company, the more value you are creating for yourself. So you can start your investment journey with anything. If you have 10,000, you have 50,000, you have 100,000, you have 1 million, 10 million, 100 million, 1 billion, 20 billion, the stock market is there. You can always grow that money. So it is the fastest means of growing your money compared to the money markets like bonds, treasury bills, commercial papers, and so on and so forth. Okay? So the older you get, you now want to go for safety, because investing in bonds, treasury bills, your money is 100% safe. You lose nothing, but the returns is smaller compared to what you are able to make from the stock market. So when you grow older, having made a lot of money, we now show you that the best way is to start diversifying into the safest place to put the money. Because for bonds and treasury bills, the bigger the merrier. At 17% per annum or 20% per annum for bonds, 100 million naira means 20 million naira every year as interest. If you have 100 million or 10 million naira, 20% is 2 million every year. And that 2 million, they break it into two, pay you every 6 months. That is if you invest in bonds. That way you are sure of the capital secured. And of course, at the end of the tenure, if it's for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, your capital returns to you. If you are scared of inflation and devaluation of the naira, then we advise against investing in long-term bonds because it will require you to keep it for long. Now, you invest in short-term bonds so that should there be any need for you to quickly buy up dollars in place of the naira investment, you can liquidate your bonds and do so if you are really, really concerned about losing money via inflation and devaluation. And all of this is possible for every Nigerian, no matter where you are. Okay? I've come to realize that a lot of Nigerians in diaspora, due to no fault of theirs, are not aware of these things, and that is why we are here. Fancy Nails says, whoa, I have really missed. Not to worry, you really haven't missed if you have joined us. Those who have missed are those who still can't find us. And that's why we come here to share every day. While the live session is going on, we are tapping on our screens, we're sharing the live session, so more new people are joining us. You can see Ola joined from the UK because of those screen actions. So when you give gifts on the screen, when you share this live session, when you keep liking, you are generating attention on the social media platforms we are using, both on Instagram and on TikTok, and then more people join us, and before you know, their eyes are open. Wow, so this is one wonderful way you can make money grow while still doing what you are doing without getting distracted from the job that you are doing. Most of our chats on the group is available in case you are not able to go through them during your work hours. You can take your time and go through all that has been discussed in the course of the day. Make up your mind on where to invest your money, right? So we teach you how it works while your money is still working for you almost immediately. So you earn while you are learning, and it's all for free. Health Dictive says, I already have an account in a stockbroking firm. Fantastic. If you do, the next thing is, and you are happy with their services, wonderful. The next thing is just keep following the discussions and being in the live session, ask questions freely, and make up your mind to invest. But of course, it means that you fund your trading account so you can be ready to capitalize on opportunities as they come. I have spoken at length, and we have a caller. Valentina is on the line.
Hello, good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Valentina. How are you doing?
I'm fine. No, how on a day, my people?
Everyone is doing great. We are glad to be in a new quarter, the first trading day of the second quarter this year.
Yes,
Please,
sir.
for the sake of listeners, tell us where you're streaming from since we have announced your name already.
I'm streaming from Ibadan, your state, sir.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Valentina from Ibadan. Go ahead with your comments or questions.
Yeah, I've been commenting on the comment section, but it seems like you are busy. So I say make I ask, Sha. You know, say I don't cut small meat out of champs. So now I want to use my gun to go and shoot cooties. How do you? I approve. I dey wait for.
You want to buy Q-Tix?
Yes, sir. I want to buy cookies.
Let me see what the situation is. I noticed that before I came on live, Q-Tix was really proving stubborn. When other stocks were dropping, it was refusing. So let's see if you will lucky this time, if it has checked any weight at all. Okay, so Q-Tix. Well, Q-Tix refused to drop even though there's a lot on offer. I will advise you putting a bid at maybe 2 naira 50 kobo, or to be on the safest side, 2 naira 45 kobo.
All right, sir.
Yes, even though it's currently at 2 naira 54 kobo, you could be lucky before today runs out to buy it at 245. Let's go with 245, okay?
All right, sir. No problem. Thank you very much for that.
All right, enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.
Health Dictive is coming on live. We have lost Maobi again. I guess the network in his location is not very easy. Please
Hello, good afternoon.
MMJ, I'm trying to confirm if VFD declared dividend. Hello, sir. Good afternoon.
Yes, I'm very, very impressed with what
Sorry,
you're doing.
your background is
At
so
least I've seen your
noisy.
video
We are struggling
before.
to hear you. Your background very noisy. Can you go away from the noise?
Okay, I'll do that. Just give me 1 minute. Can you hear me now? Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I can hear you. Very good afternoon to you. Please
Yes,
tell
I
us
said I'm
your
very
name
impressed with what you're
and where you're
doing.
streaming from.
I'm streaming from Songo in
Otta.
Nigeria. Yes, please.
Fantastic. We're glad
Ota.
to have you, sir. You didn't tell us your name.
Yes, my name is Wande.
One day, nice to have you. Please go ahead.
Yes, basically, I'm actually my plan, apart from every other thing, because is to build. I mean, I have some small changes I like want to use to buy stocks. You know, there's some money that come to your hand, maybe like, well, I'm not a big investor, like 5, 10, 15,000, and you want to invest in a stock, maybe build over time. So I don't know whether you'll be available for something. Just like you talk about, there are some stocks that are quite good, but you know, it's not my area of specialty. You get so at times you need someone to guide you because most people by the time you ask some people they tell you that buy the big banks, buy the 500 naira or the 450. Meanwhile, I saw you recommend a stock of 250 kobo. I mean, I don't know about these companies, but I know over the years I've seen companies like Better Glass. At least I've been investing in stocks for over 10, 15 years. So I just sold, but then at times there are some stock companies that are very good, their prices are low and they're doing well. And they've been on for a long time. And there's nobody to actually tell you, listen, you can invest in this thing and build over the years. So instead of looking at all those big multinationals, I mean, that's actually where my own area of interest is that there's some small stocks you can invest and they're good. So I don't know whether you can be of help in those areas.
That's why I'm
Even
dealing
though,
on a
even
daily
though I don't
basis
have
with
a,
members and executives of Network Investors Club. Beyond being here live 2 hours on a basis, we have a group on Discord, right? So we are always on hand to share these ideas. And one thing with these talks is sometimes it's not about how cheap, it's about how good. But again, when the capital is not too big, there are very good penny stocks that have very great potentials of becoming big tomorrow. The NACO we are talking about today, like Mr. Luke mentioned that he bought at 32 last year, I bought at 9 naira per share. Imagine a stock I bought for 9 naira per share is now 70 naira. It's up by last year it was 32 when Mr. Luke bought, now it's 70 naira. So
exactly.
also have identified stocks with such potentials to grow from when they were almost nothing. There are stocks like that. And so if the capital being invested is so, they come in trickles, those are the kind of stocks that is best for them. And when you are ready, you keep asking the questions, you can always be able to answer. Because a good stock today might not be the best to enter tomorrow. So whenever you are ready with your funds, keep interacting, join the group and ask your questions. We will be on hand to respond.
Which group? Is it the one on Discord or this live session?
Okay, we are on Discord, Net Worth Investors Club, and it's free. So follow me on
Okay.
Instagram, send me a DM, I'll send you the current link to that group. The group link
On Instagram, Abi?
The group settings is made such a way that the link expires with time. So currently, anywhere you see the link, it's expired. I will have to get a new one and send the current one to you. Yes, on Instagram.
So can I send a DM now on this one or do it on Instagram? How do you look it on Instagram?
This DM is choked.
What?
Yours will get missing. But if you drop it
Okay,
on
what's
Instagram,
our name on
sure to see
Instagram?
it. My Instagram handle is at Wealth Coach Omiete. I typed and pinned it on this live page.
Okay.
I'm going to type it again. I don't know if it's still there. At Wealth Coach Omiete. That's it right there. So anybody who needs, for those who do not have stock brokerage account and you want to open one for yourself, feel free. I'll show you. Now, this is what makes us different. Our videos and our social media posts may not appear professional enough. That's because I am not a blogger, I'm not a social media poster or whatever. I am actually a wealth coach. My focus is to grow the money you have to look after you later on. And if I achieve that, then quality of content can come later. You get the point? So we tell you certain truths that normal bloggers who just blog to create video and grow their content page will not. That's the point I'm making. Is that okay, sir? All right, guess that's enough said. Okay, please, can I buy Zenith now for dividend gains? Ikena. I think Zenith is fair. Whether it drops below what it is now or not, Zenith is fair. You may want to buy and partake in the dividend, but please take note that should they mark down the price, they're going to take 3 Naira off the share price on the day of markdown for dividend payment. So you don't get surprised if you buy it 47 and see it at 44. That will be because they marked it down from 47 to pay dividend. That's the way it's done for all stocks. When it's time for dividend payment, they mark down the share price by the amount of dividend per share that they are paying. Okay? All right. Please, what's the best price to put in a bid for UACN? Lily wants interiors. I'd like you to be patient with UACN. I also have my eyes there. There was a time I used to have UACN, about 1 million shares. That time I bought it at 7 Naira, or was it 5 Naira? Then it got to 12, and then I saw that the company was in trouble. I sold the shares and left the business. So the company got into trouble and collapsed, but they are back. They are back, and I started singing their song again when I saw them around, was it 9 or 12 Naira some years ago when we were on WhatsApp, and it's now 31. This current drop in price is because the market is not impressed with the 22 kobo paid. But beyond the annoyance of dividend hunters or dividend earners, I saw that they earned a lot much more, 4 Naira plus per share. So they could have paid 4 Naira per share as dividend if they want to pay out everything. That's how much they made. But they decided that they'll pay 22 kobo, the same thing they paid last year. And that decision means they retain a lot of their earnings. Now, just as you are trying to retain money for yourself so that you can grow the money, and that eventually stands you out as being amongst the richest when they compare you to your mates who are earning the same with you. That's what UACN has just done. They are deciding not to spend too much, but retain enough. So their current retained earnings is now over 40 billion naira. That's a big company trying to make more money. So when retained earnings grows like that, it gives the business the financial muscle to remain healthy, to expand the business, to become much more valuable. So let's allow the market to punish it for deciding to pay that little, but the advantage there is it will drop the price further and give us a chance to buy it cheaper. I'll show you what's going on with USCN right now. You see USCN totally red from 35 naira 50 kobo, it's now 31 naira 95 kobo. If the punishment continues tomorrow, it will drop below 30 naira, which will be a wonderful opportunity to start looking at whether it will really drop. Because currently, 3.4 million shares on offer, no bid. They've sold about only 300 and something thousand shares today. So sometimes you look at these things and you know there is an opportunity. Opportunities that you didn't plan will ever come your way, because USCN should be selling for around 40 naira as we speak. So for that temporary reaction towards the dividend that was too low, let's take advantage and buy it less than 30 naira. But even after it drops below 30 naira tomorrow, let's see exactly how low it gets, whether there is still a chance. By the bid and offer analysis of tomorrow, we'll be able to tell whether it's time to buy or not. Okay? So this is why we are here. Please, coach, how often do these companies declare dividends? Beckley Ogunsemo. Okay. Some companies pay dividend once a year, which is the standard dividend payment approach. Some others pay twice a year, meaning every 6 months, a company can pay you dividend if you have their shares. And then one in Nigeria pays 4 times a year, meaning every quarter or every 3 months, and that stock is NIDF. The banks that pays twice a year, GT Bank, Zenith Bank, UBA, Fidelity Bank, I can't recall, I think First Bank, I think Access, and so on. And some other companies also that are not banks. So by the time you accumulate stocks that pay dividend twice a year, you would have generated income stream from all of them at different months of a 12 calendar months year, right? So that's the way it works. I bought UBA today. Will I still be part of the dividend come this month? Yes. UBA's qualification date is around, is it 11th or 15th of this month? And then payment date is 25th. 25th of this month, UBA will be paying dividend. And all of us will be here to talk about whether or not we have received our alerts. That is the joy of being in a community like this. Okay, Maxine Jeremiah says, do we have any apps to monitor the post-dividend payment or any site to monitor it? I don't understand what you mean. Do you mean post-dividend for each stock price? Please clarify. Emerge Insect Decor says, I'm a newbie. Please guide me on how to start. Okay. This is where Maobi comes in. Maobi, if you can hear me, please come on board and let's talk to Maxine Jeremiah. Bookilicious, I've spoken about Aradel. Aradel is a buy anytime. Just keep buying as it drops until it's done dropping. For your information, Aradel just bought another asset most recently, and it can only get better by the time they announce their first quarter result. Most importantly, their second quarter and third quarter results this year. Aradel will blow the market. If you are not following me and you are watching this, you may not be able to catch up with me anymore. Feel free to follow me because you don't want to lose money anymore. Coach is not a content creator, neither is a social media influencer. Emeka Everest, Emeka, thank you very much for that take home. Olori Carr says, good morning, coach. Thank you for all you do. Thank you very much. Olori. Emma Lade says, thanks a lot. You are doing a wonderful job. Thank you very much. Keep your comments coming in. I am enjoying the feedbacks I'm getting. Wow, Grace says, I just bought Aradel for 489. Wow, awesome. So you have now bought Aradel cheaper than my entry price. You see that? So I need to buy more Aradel. I've already told myself after this live session, I'm going in to get more. Good afternoon, coach. Can I buy NACO now? Or if not, what are the stocks to buy? Muftau Dauda, why do you want to buy NACO now? Let me ask. Is it because of the dividend? Or you want to hold NACO for long term? I feel that NACO will eventually retrace later. If you are happy with buying it as the dividend comes, then you can buy, but don't be surprised when it drops by 5 naira after the markdown. But NACO has very great prospects to continue to be a strong company as long as there is no problem with the air travel business. You know, NACO was battered heavily during COVID when nobody was traveling anymore. And that was a chance. If I was doing live sessions, maybe most of you would have been very rich. Because if you listen to me and really do what I tell you, then you would have made a lot of money there. Why? NACO dropped to 2 naira 50 kobo. That was 5 years ago. Can you imagine that? Let me do the arithmetics. Let's do the maths. So people are making a lot of money from companies when they drop. Just like I was talking about UAC now. Very solid, viable company with 40 billion naira cash reserve. But the market is angry because they paid 22 kobo per share from the 4 naira something that they earned as earnings per share. Let it drop. Let them allow it drop. Let me see it around 20 naira. And then you will know that there's money to be made. Because of COVID, when nobody was traveling, stocks were crashing, NACO was battered. You know, National Aviation Handling Company, that's NACO. Because they didn't have those contracts, nobody was flying anymore. There was no job for more than 1 year, all through when COVID lasted. NACO dropped to 2 naira 50 kobo in 2019. In fact, let me not appear to be making up this story. Just keep watching. I want to show you how, if you are not following me, you are losing money. I'll go to the historical share price of NACO and I'll tell you exact fact about the stock price. What's going on? This is why my live session may not be the perfect social media influencer or poster or something, but I'm giving you something. Hold on. That's it, NACO. 5 years ago, look at it. This will amaze you. On the 4th of May, 2020, we are in April, not yet May. I'll go to April now. On the 6th of April, 2020, that's 4 days to make it exactly 5 years ago. 6th of April 2020, NACO was selling for 2 naira per share. Come on, clap for coach. So if I was doing this live session exactly as I'm doing now, I would say buy NACO, buy NACO. It is beaten and battered. But you see this COVID that everybody's running from, it will still bounce back. Buy NACO. Can you imagine? NACO was 2 naira per share, 6th of April 2020. 5 years after, boom, NACO 70 naira. Look at it, 69.90. Let's do the maths. Assume you put in 2 million naira. At 2 naira per share, you bought 1 million shares of NACO. 1 million NACO today at 69 naira 90 kobo, they have declared how much? 5 naira something per share. Forget the fraction. Your 1 million shares times 5 naira is how much? 5 million naira. So you make 5 million naira dividend for this one they are paying now. Forget the dividends you earned from 2020 till now. The one dividend they are paying for 2024, 5 million naira is coming to you. How much did you buy the stock? Write it down. Everybody make a comment. How much did we say we bought 1 million shares of NACO? You spent 2 million naira and you have collected 5 million naira in one financial year of dividend declaration. Thank you very much, Lily Wants Interiors. 5 million is coming to you, no sweating, no fighting, nobody is seeing you anywhere, but that money will find its way into your bank account without struggle. 2 million, thank you. Spiff Samuel, 2 million. Ayomide, 2 million. Believe, 2 million naira. That's it. Now, you spent 2 million naira 5 years ago. It is now worth how much? Your 1 million shares is still with you. Do you know that NACO gave bonus 1 for 5 between that time and now? Hold on, not done with you yet. 1 million naira, 1 million shares, they gave 1 for 5 bonus. I've forgotten if it was 2 or 3 years ago. Within that 5 years, your 1 million shares divided by 5, that is 1 for 5 bonus. You would have gotten 200,000 shares of NACO added to your 1 million, meaning you have 1.2 million shares of NACO. With the 5 naira dividend declared right now times 5 naira, what do you have as dividend? 6 million naira. You bought the stock 2 million. You bought the stock 2 million. You are receiving 6 million dividend after collecting 200,000 shares as bonus. Currently, you have 1.2 million shares, right? 1,200,000 shares of NACO that you still kept. It is now showing 69 naira 90 kobo, right? 1,200,000 times 69 naira 90 kobo. What do you have there? 83 million naira. Something you bought 2 million is now worth 83 million naira. And you still have what? You still have dividend of 6 million you are receiving from one financial year's payment. You received dividend 2023, you received dividend 2022, you received dividend 2021, you received dividend 2020. That's what we're talking about. Somebody will say, when I say invest for 5 years, you think, oh, 5 years is a long time. This is what you are missing. When you say 5 years is a long time. Now tell me what somebody who had 2 million naira in 2020 did with the 2 million and came out with something and still has 83 million from that 2 million. Tell me. When you are in the diaspora and you are worried, you are troubled by all these uninformed Nigerians who know nothing about the stock market, and any moment you talk about investing back home, they say, oh, what of inflation? Oh, what of devaluation? Tell me what devaluation and inflation put together will beat these returns invested in Naira. Time will not permit me to now take you back and confirm how much was 2 million naira 5 years ago and how much 83 million naira is now in dollar terms. So when people come on videos we post and start talking, you can tell from their point of ignorance and they argue vehemently. It is hard to break that mental block in them because they take everything they hear, hook, line, and sinker, and they deny many of the opportunity to invest. Ola called in from the UK today. God bless her soul. She invests and just does it regularly. She will be amazed at what becomes of her portfolio 5 years from now. Now you know what I mean when I say if you are not following me, you are losing money. Imagine you knew me in 2020 and I was hammering on buy NACO. The same way I'm now hammering on buy Aradel, buy Aradel. It will look like a joke. It will look like what is happening. He's saying buy Aradel from 600. In fact, from 700, it came to 500. Now it's 489. He's still saying buy Aradel. That's how NACO fluctuated and fluctuated and fluctuated. I told you when I started talking that it was at 2 naira 50 kobo. I came back to the facts and saw that it dropped to 2 naira. I'm talking about from 2019. But when I use 2020 to check, because that's the maximum coverage this chart can give me, 5 years maximum. I came back here and saw that it even dropped to 2 naira. But you know what? Those little fluctuations from 500 to 400 or 700 to 500 and so on, look at it. From 2 naira to 69 naira 90 kobo. So 2 million naira became 83 million plus all of the dividends you have been bagging all along. Tomorrow, when NACO hits 100 naira, check it again. 1.2 million times 100 naira, that will be 120 million. Something you bought for 2 million naira. Which real estate property could have given you this return? With just 2 million. You saw land, you bought it, you built the house, all with the 2 million, and it has returned you 83 million. You know. So this is not to downgrade real estate, but this is to tell you that from wherever you are, you can start investing in the stock market. And then if real estate is your passion, you carry 83 million, you look for where to spend it on the real estate of your choice. If business, importation, manufacturing, any kind of thing is your passion, you now pull out money from your stock investment, then fund your business with peace of mind. I told you, remember when we started, that wealth creation is all about having peace of mind, getting out of debt, saving money, investing the money so you can have much more money to do whatever you like. With 83 million, you can relocate to any part of the world with such amount of money to prove that it's your own. And any embassy around the world will gladly welcome you because they know that you are not going to be a liability, and then you can do whatever you like. You can get startup visas for relocation if you like. You don't know what a world of opportunities you create for yourself when you invest. Citizenship by investment can easily be done, even if others are charging $100,000 and so on. With this, you can actually buy a business in the US or in the UK and use that process, if well guided, to relocate if you want to relocate. So you now relocate with dignity. We have a lot of Nigerians who sold all they had to travel and go and start struggling for peanuts as salaries. That's not how to do it. Cool down, have a grand plan, grow this thing, give yourself time. And you say, oh, 5 years is too long. You all remember, COVID-19 is still in my memory as if it happened just yesterday. That's what the rich do. As we keep complaining, oh, why is Dangote merger not happening? I'm selling my stocks. Why is First Bank doing this? I'm selling. Why is USC paying 22 kobo? I'm selling. You sell, they buy up everything, and then the stock price booms. You get a point now? That's what we're talking about. Please, 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 if you are not following me, you are losing money. Wake up. Tell yourself every blessed day that now I know I'm doing the right thing. It's just a matter of time. I will blossom and nobody can do anything about it. I was talking to a mentee over the weekend and I told him something and it blew his mind. Maybe, just maybe, he has suffered some kind of attacks before in what he does and doesn't want that. And I mentioned something. I said, look, listen. When you build in silence, they don't know what to attack. Let that sink in. Yes. When you build in silence, they don't know what to attack. You see, when they see you running around a business, they see you running around properties, you have one problem, you sell one property, they start laughing at you. Say, oh, he has lost his money. He's broke. Or they see you progressing, they are angry, they go and start trying to attack you diabolically, spiritually, and all of that. And maybe you do not have the spiritual potency to ward them off, and then your business begins to crash in your face. That's because they are seeing what you are doing. How about investing smartly, like I'm saying? And you build tons and piles of war chests of wealth, and you do whatever you want to do, and they don't know what to attack because they can't see any physical thing. When you build in silence, they don't know what to attack. Thank you very much. I don't know who else has any comments to make. Now we have just 11 minutes to go, and surely somebody is going to make it. I don't care where you are. I don't care how small the money you are able to pull out from your earnings are. I'm just excited for you that we have a world of opportunities right here. And if you can be patient, because this is what brought about this passion. Growing up, I thought there must be a legitimate way to make money, and I'm not going to bend. I will look for that source and stick to it. 27 years ago, I discovered the stock market and I started. All I started with and all I had was 4,000 naira. 4,000 naira, living with my parents, not yet admitted into university. I bought Savannah Bank shares. That was how I started. But you see, some people will say, no, when I have 1 million, when I have money, I'll start. You will never start. Because starting small gives you the discipline to be in control of money when you start having a lot of money. And that was how I developed the discipline to put money aside when I started earning after graduation. Working in First Bank, seeing loads of cash. That time there was no, what do they call it now? Cashless policy. Even before cashless policy, there was no restriction as to how much a check leaflet. We used to see 1 billion naira in check. Now it's not possible. It's maximum 10 million per check leaflet. When I worked in a bank, you will see 1.5 billion in check. And you will clear that check. Yes. So we saw politicians come with sacks of money during the election period when they exchange money, money exchanges hands and it's raw cash up till this day. That's why they've converted to US dollars now. Politicians exchange dollars because that way they can carry a whole lot of money to share to buy votes. We were in the bank counting other people's money but never tempted to steal it. Why? We have our little way of making legitimate money. So in the process of building wealth this way, you are also developing the discipline not to steal, not to commit fraud. I mean, you know the process of making money. So why go into fraud, for example? So if you are the religious type, so you lose your heavenly race and go to hell because of how much? 83 million from 2 million in 5 years. People will kill to have this money. And yet, you know the process. What's the need? So, by the time you develop the discipline and start putting money to work, you can't be amongst those who steal. You can't be amongst fraudsters. It's useless. You are bigger than it. And that's how you continue to ride high. Come on now, I need many riders to join me. And thank God for the 1,900 members of Net Worth Investors Club. I already have enough people. We are going somewhere. Most of us have not been with me for up to 1 year. But I'm seeing your baffling results and I'm so impressed. right? And as many as are interested, I'll keep showing you how to do it. This is not social media where you just copy and paste everything you see on the internet. People are looking for practical results. Yesterday, just yesterday, 1st of April, one of us, Fortune Ojenaman, she has called into this program several times, shared how she bought CCI, when I mentioned it, a US company, CCI, at $94 per share. It got to $105 per share, but that was not it. Why she mentioned it yesterday was that she just received her dividend. I think it was a quarterly dividend stock. I made a video about it, that if you invest in this US stock, you will be earning dollars every 3 months. And this one particularly is undervalued. She bought at 94, it's now 105, and she has received her first dividend already in US dollars. That can also be you. That's what we're talking about. Come on now, type it and say, money is easy to make. Say it. If you don't tell yourself, then your subconscious will never know that money is easy to make. Say it, right? Money is easy to make. Type it there. Money is easy to make. Okay, Clean says he received small dividends on CCI too. Well, nothing is too small. The most important thing is you have tested it and it is working. Very important. That's the most important. For me, you put in money, you saw your dividend. Oh, this thing is real. Wonderful. Say it. Money is easy to make. You know, you sat in a poverty class that you didn't pay for without knowing. When your parents were telling you growing up, you will ask for something, Christmas clothes, one toy or the other, and they will tell you, I can't afford it. Do you think money is easy to make? Do you think money grows on trees? That's the grammar. Money, do you think money grows on trees? The more they were injecting into your subconscious that thought pattern that money is difficult, the more your entire system is set on the fact that money is difficult. So 1 billion is too big for you. 1 million for some people is too big to come by. Your system has been set in that very negative, unenabling pattern, and you just can't get it. So even when 500,000 comes into your hands, before you know it, you have blown it and you are back to 100,000. One day I will tell you about something called financial thermostat. Do you know that you have a financial thermostat? I will tell you, just remind me, financial thermostat. Come on, say it. Keep saying it until it reflects inside your brain. Money is easy to make. Until you say it and build it back in, it will never be there. That's why the poor resent the rich. They hate rich people. Some eventually become so religious, they make it look like your being religious is tantamount to being poor, because the rich people are thieves. Who told you that? Jim Ovia, the founder and current chairman of Zenith Bank, is going to receive 25 billion naira from his Zenith Bank dividend. That Zenith Bank that paid the 4 naira that people are condemning because GT paid 7 naira. That 4 naira alone is fetching one man 25 billion naira. Somebody will say he stole it. The more you keep telling yourself these things are not easy to come by, it's not possible, the more you will never get it. Tony Elumelu, from his UBA dividend, is going to collect 12 billion. They didn't have anything when they started. No matter whatever happened, they've put in the effort, put in a system, and now every year billions comes to them, whether they work or not. Of course, the CBN has removed all of them. You know, CBN came with a policy that founders of banks from 10 years upwards that have served as MDs should step down. That was a wonderful way to make sure that the owners do not run the banks aground and so on. So, but as serving chairmen, they are also having their eyes on the banks to ensure that they don't lose money or the banks are not mismanaged, because they have serious stakes in those banks. And as long as the bank does well, the more money comes to them. Please, it's possible. Some people will run into 1 million because they have no financial thermostat large enough to retain 1 million. That 1 million, once 1 million comes, it disappears and drops to 100,000. When they spend until 100,000, then they start saving, they start being careful because of the fear of not having anything. So their financial thermostat is set at 100,000. That's why some people will never get beyond 1 million or beyond 500,000. You must type it and tell yourself, money is easy to make. So that you exchange that wrong, it's called paradigm shift. You will have to instill a new paradigm so that that old syllabus gets out of your life. All right? Okay, Grace says, please, can I buy Exod now? Exodus movement is in the US market. I am anticipating a little drop before you can buy. I don't know if it is very safe to buy now, even though it has shared up to 19% already of its value lately, but I want to believe that it may shed more before you can buy. So let's be hopeful. As long as Trump continues to do his tariff this, tariff that, this and that, the market will keep fluctuating. So it will be good that you buy it at the best price should the market fluctuate again today when the market opens. Keep your eyes on Exod, Grace, because I saw you are asking that question perhaps because you saw my story post about the stock, and it's a good opportunity in the US market based on the numbers that I see. I received financial capacity to increase making money easily this year, 2025. Now, Elvis Presley has coined it his own way, and it's even making more sense. Adding flesh to it, that's the point. Which stock will you recommend presently, sir? Gist Daddy, we need to know why you want to buy the stock, what your investment goal is. We don't just call the name of stocks, because I might be calling a stock advising you to hold for long term in my head, whereas you have the money for 1 year or for 9 months. Can I buy Jais Bank styled Britain? Jais Bank for me should not be bought for anything. Jais Bank, let's see, because opportunities can arise at any time. I kept saying buy Jais Bank at 245 before it climbed to 3, but who knows? Let's see what's happening. For me, Jais maybe 3 naira or less, but may not happen until after this dividend era. Okay, so I don't know if you are buying for long term, you want to patiently collect at a very, very good price. Let me just check to see what Jais is doing. Jais is 333. Okay, it is unrelenting, 11.5 million shares versus 5 million on offer. So Jais is in strong demand. I've spoken so much, the time is already up. The Vic says, dear coach, according to your analysis on NACO, can one buy Ella Lake now for long term? Now that's completely different because Ella Lakes has not started producing, and I'm not convinced about how they have performed with their investments so far. So it's still a risk. It's more like a 50-50 gamble if you are going into Ella Lakes right now. They are first of all involved in so many things apart from just the palm plantation stuff they are talking about. They are also doing piggery and all sorts of things that have not really brought earnings. Just like a stock like Japol also. So there is a lot of risk involved in investing there. I would rather say stocks like, you see TIP, that's looking like that. TIP looks like it has all of those guys, though TIP is so very young, can't be compared to NACO, but anybody who is ready to wait long enough, look for TIP under 4 naira. That was how I was shouting here, buy TIP at 1 naira 90 kobo. TIP got to 4 naira plus. So let the dust settle, let all the earnings matters die down, and then you start accumulating some of these targets. Let me tell you, you can't buy it once easily, and be patient. So take your time, look for the best time to enter them, mark them down, and if you are building for long term, accumulate for a while. You will be amazed what becomes of your investment. There's tip that looks like that. There's also Q-ticks that looks like that. There's charms that looks like that. But we still need more time to really assess their performance. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm so sorry. We'll have to come to the end of today's session. 3 minutes already gone past 2 p.m. The closing time for today's session is 2 p.m. My apologies to anyone whose question I've not been able to respond to, but do well to follow me on Instagram at wealth.omiete. I'll type it again. Send me a DM after you follow so I can respond to all of your questions. Then whatever I've not responded to, tomorrow is another day. That's why I try to sacrifice 2 hours of my time, and those of the members of Network Investors Club who are also here, especially the admins, following up to respond to your questions. Do well to send in your requests, and you can join our club when you request for the link also, and hopefully we build and grow together. Thank you very much, Benita. Thank you very much, Luke. Thank you very much, Ray Hobart. Thank you very much, Kenny Sox. Everybody who has been a part of this, and of course, Maobi, who is a constant. Thank you very much. And everybody who has been a part of this, God bless you. Let's do it again tomorrow. Same time, 12 noon to 2 p.m. Nigerian time. We will flourish together. Forget it. This year, we must make money. But remember, time is running out. 1 quarter gone. 3 quarters left for 2025. A lot of money left to be made. See you again with good news tomorrow. Hopefully your portfolio keeps growing. Keep killing it. And surely we'll meet somewhere sipping from the natural coconut fruit and watching our Atlas Portfolios accounts on the computer. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your day. And once again,